Well, I guess I better explain what I mean to those who haven't played the game and haven't seen the move I'm talking about. There is this move that your character, even regardless if you're playing single player as what was his name, John Fisher? No, Sam Fisher, or if you're playing as the one of the multiplayer characters, Kestrel or Archer. There is this move where when you go up to a guy and you press C on the keyboard, or I don't know what it is for you console guys, then he does a special close quarters move where he takes his gun, the muzzle of his gun, the very tip of his gun, and he hits it twice against somebody's Adam's apple. That shit works in real life. You can do that without the gun as well. You can just I'm I can't believe I'm teaching you how to kill people. Like next thing I'll be like giving you demonstrations on how to create a weapon from a toothbrush and how to shank somebody. But what you do is you put the bottom side of your hand, the flat side. What the fuck is that? Not the palm. Well, I'm pretty sure you know what I mean. Like where the little finger is, that on that side, on the bottom side, So you put that side on somebody's throat, and then you use your other hand to thrust that the first hand I was talking about. You use the other hand to thrust the first hand against somebody's jugular or Adam's apple, and then you cause some kind of chain reaction. You can't crush his Adam's apple, and if I'm not completely wrong about it, I think he's dead in a couple of minutes. It's pretty interesting shit. I mean, there's a lot of insane stuff that you can do with very little effort or strength. It's all about technique. That's why I loved when I was going on when I was practicing Aikido, and I was doing a lot of these ridiculous moves which required almost no strength. It just required timing, precision, technique, the center, as they would say. You have to move with the body and be conscious of where you are and always be in the center, never ever lose your balance, which is true for every martial art. They will argue that balance is everything. If you don't have balance, you're fucked. Somebody will just blow on you. You'll just tip over, and that's kind of pointless. You're not supposed to. So you're not supposed to just fall over like a little bitch. What the hell? Fuck. But yeah, that move in Splinter Cell was. I mean, I love seeing that movie. It just slams his gun against somebody's throat twice, and the enemy just falls down, and he's like, he looks like a fish out of water. He's like choking it, like, and Kester was like, yes, for Madrash. Just doing what he does best. Just doing what he does best. Awesome move. The finishing moves. Well, I haven't been doing any lethal moves because I actually tried going through a semi non-lethal round, but I'm not sure if I'm going to succeed. I wanted to do a complete non-lethal round, but I doubt I'll be able to manage on the first playthrough. That's a little hardcore. But wait. Right, but the non-lethal finishers look pretty good. Yeah, I like them. I love the one where he taps an enemy. I mean, I'm talking about Deus Ex now. The finishing moves on Deus Ex. I can be a little unclear. I'm often very unclear what I'm talking about. That's an awful attribute. I'm trying to change that, but anyways, in Deus Ex, finishing moves, non-lethal style. There's one where he taps somebody on the shoulder and then he just lunges. I mean, he like throws a brick that is his fist on somebody's face, and he just flies back, and he's like, which is actually demonstrated in this video a couple of times. And yeah, I mean, I like watching finishing moves. I mean, who doesn't? I think one of the best finishing moves I've ever seen was probably in Assassin's Creed. I mean, he does some retarded things there, but I think my absolute favorite is when you're holding a spear and you're fighting against a brute, and he's, he raises his sword, and I think you're deflecting. Yeah, I think you're deflecting. I think it's one of those counter moves. So when you counter a brute when he's attacking you, he splits your spear in two, and then you stab him with one end, and then stab him with the other, and then, I mean, that's wow. But there are a lot more awesome finishing moves. I love the finishing moves in Assassin's Creed. Me and my friend used to just go over every single one and just talk about how brutal they were. I mean, finishing moves. I mean, why are they so interesting? I guess it gives you satisfaction. You know, when you've been stalking an enemy for, maybe you've been stalking him, and you've been patient. You've been cataloging every single patrolman that you see, where he goes, when he stops, and how long he stops somewhere, and you've been really like taking your time and you're really picking off every single one in order, and then there's some kind of satisfaction in seeing like a little finishing move, like when you get somebody. Yeah, it's I guess yeah. I mean finishing moves. I wonder if they had finishing moves in Ninja Gaiden. I don't know. No, they didn't. But yeah, Ninja Gaiden is the kind of game where you would expect them to have finishing moves. They do have finishing moves in a game called Dragon Age Origins, and in Dragon Age 2 as well. Yeah. When they work there too. It's pretty interesting. Finishing moves. I'm not saying that everybody should be doing finishing moves. I'm just saying that when put in proper context, it works. It works. And I've just been trying to look at every computer and see what I can find out. As I said before, I love exploration, so I'm trying to really explore every corner, every room, and check every computer, every pocket secretary. Just check and explore everything I can to see. Maybe I want to learn more about the lore, about the world around Deus Ex, and I want to also learn more about the mission. Maybe I can find out something interesting. I don't think it's this mission. I think it's another mission later on where you actually come across. Right? Yeah. You do. Where you come across a pocket secretary. I think. Yeah, I think it's the pocket secretary, and there is the whole opening dialogue. The whole opening scene where there is some asshole talking to a bunch of agents from across the world, and you hear a German, you hear an Englishman, the whole intro scene of Deus Ex, Human Revolutions. That whole dialogue was present in this pocket secretary, and that was pretty interesting. So now Jensen knows what the player knows, right? So yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter because I knew, but maybe it has had some impact on the story later. That now you know what it said, what the bad guy said, and I wonder who that guy is. I'm not gonna say it's Bob Page, but I'm kind of hoping that it is Bob Page, because Bob Page, I didn't kill Bob Page in Deus Ex. I wanted to, but after a while, I wanted to merge with a computer, and I wanted to kill Bob Page first and then go and merge, but I don't know. I just my patience ran out. I just couldn't be bothered anymore with looking for the controls and this and that and dodging those damn turrets that are. They're exactly like on the side of him, and they're just waiting to shoot anything. Oh, and then there's those damn robots, those damn doors. There are doors to those. To that main and final room. There are doors, and in these doors, or in these rooms where there are these doors, blurg, there are those respawning machineries thingies, and those things are so annoying. they constantly respawn, you know, the gray, which are like an alien thingy, and there's a respawner that respawns those spider droids, and it's So yeah, that final room really just drained all my patience, and I just had to fuck off as soon as I could.